people are starting to realize that No Jumper has done a bit of downsizing over the weekend. I'm not talking about the fact that AD and T-Rail and everybody that they pieced out. I'm talking about more on a staff level. So you would have to have a certain level of familiarity with No Jumper to necessarily know about everybody. And I'm not going to go through one by one or anything like that, but I do just want to make it clear from our perspective that nobody who got laid off is someone who was doing a bad job, or that was, we didn't get rid of anybody because we thought they were disloyal or because we didn't like them or some shit like that.
Why did you do it, Adam?
It was strictly downsizing. Like, we just had hired too many people. And especially when you have, however many, 5, 6, 7 people leaving that are consistently doing content on the channel. Like, there was a time period where we had a bunch of people doing interviews on the podcast very frequently, and it felt like it was necessary for us to have 6 editors. That time is like clearly passed. And so it was the kind of thing that you hate to have to do as a business owner, but at a certain point you got to be like, our overhead is just getting out of control, and we got to really focus on the shit that's actually working right now. And even before those dudes left, a lot of the content that we were producing, where we were just sort of like letting people hang out on camera or whatever, it wasn't necessarily like making revenue that was allowing us to then pay the editors. So, I just wanted to like make that perfectly clear, is that people are probably hearing about it a bunch, but that it doesn't mean that No Jumper's done. It just means that we needed to consolidate a bit. You see this actually honestly happening with a ton of different industries right now, whether it's the tech world, Amazon, McDonald's.
Everybody, I was just about to say that.
And I'm not sure that we're doing it for the same reason that they're doing it, but the reality is like at a certain point for me, especially with everything that's gone on the past couple of months, it's like I kind of just needed to zoom out, look at the business and say, okay, we're spending this much to make this much. And that maybe doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense. Maybe we got to spend a little less, especially if we're going to be making less. So it was a tough decision, because like a lot of these people really like, I'm coming in here every day seeing them. I'm having conversations with them and stuff. And, they're big parts of the brand. They're helpful. The fucking people at home are loving them and everything. And, it was unfortunate and I feel bad about it. But at the end of the day, it's just business,
You are going to be public enemy number one regardless.
Yeah, and in that way, it felt like maybe this is not the worst time to do it, because it's already fucking warfare.
Like regardless, like you're the boss of the podcast. Like, you have to make the final decisions of everything. Yeah. So, and once they see everybody that's gone, they're going to criticize, and you're going to be a Klansman. You're going to be you're going to be all of the above. But
I'm a Wu-Tang Klansman.
They're going to say whatever. They say the craziest shit, and I'm like, bro, how the fuck do you guys get that from Adam? Like, I've been knowing you for years, bro, before the podcast, before all this shit. So, like, I think that you genuinely fuck with the culture, and that's why you even started podcasting and touching on topics around the culture. And then you opened up the door for the culture, for people from the culture to come in and get their shit off on your platform.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
And at a certain point, like, all right, this is the thing. There's been a ton of things that No Jumper has done over the years that at some point we kind of stopped doing, like shit that we tried content-wise. Like, I remember it was totally normal in like 2018, 2019. We would fly to Rolling Loud. We'd fly to Lyrical Lemonade Festival just to make a vlog, just to maybe make 2 vlogs or whatever. And that seemed like, at that point in my life, I wanted to do that. And it seemed like it was good enough content or whatever. But then, you kind of zoom out as time goes by, and it's like, well, I am damn near 40. Do I really want to be like going to different festivals every weekend? And does this really make sense as a business model when we're like, going to festivals to basically just fight to get content to maybe, like, best case scenario, make like a couple $1,000, which does not pay for the hotels and the flights and shit. So like over time, we fell back on that. I remember when we were on Melrose, there was a period of time where we were doing IRL live streaming, having people just walk around on the street filming and doing live streaming stuff and everything. And, over time, it just kind of became like, is this really worth it? And then we kind of landed on shit that worked, which is like, okay, let's do podcasts, because we can actually control how it works and like how much it costs to make that kind of content and stuff. But I'm not gonna lie to you, like, there's been moments in the last couple of weeks where I've been like, maybe I only need like 1 or 2 people to talk to. Maybe I want like a really small crew of people, but it is like people like all y'all who like keep hitting me up, like getting me motivated. I have to shout out Sharp because Jesus Christ, Sharp just calls me and it's just like a fucking Energizer bunny of just getting me geeked up to
that's
do
what
shit.
Sharp does. Now don't fall under that line of work now.
No, I'm not. I just not putting me on the blade at this time. Yeah.
He got him geeked up. Look, that's what Sharp. Shout out Sharp though. But hey, that's what he does though. He's like great at that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's his. I don't want to put his professional
former professional,
former professional, whatever. He's a life coach, a professional life coach.
That's
you
true.
know what I'm saying? You got to motivate a motherfucker to go get that money. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not saying that. Saying that was a joke, but
at
the end of the day,
there's been moments where I was like, you know, I look at a lot of people who are my peers or who do similar content or whatever. I look at like an Act don't really got overhead to making this content. I'm sure he pays somebody to chop it up for YouTube, whatever. But for the most part, I mean, like he sits on his computer and he talks about whatever he wants to talk about, and then he has somebody clip it up and put it on YouTube, and that's his whole.
He's about to though. He's launching the academy on April. Well, yeah.
Oh, so this is
your whole network.
Yeah,
because I heard him talking about it, but I hadn't actually seen him really like making moves to do it.
Yeah, like with like new hosts and new different shows and podcasts. Yeah,
I respect him.
Yeah, I was about to say you're a whole network, bro. Like, don't let that fool you. Like, people look forward to No Jumper because it's a variety of shit that they could watch.
And that is the difference between me and Act too, is that I've never gone on stream and just had it be me.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit back in the day, but like for the most part, I always want people to talk to because that's just way more interesting to me. And even with him, I noticed that he like takes the Discord and puts that on his streams and shit. So he does have people to just bounce back and forth with and everything like that. But I mean, it is a little overwhelming when you spend, years getting used to talking to people on camera and then it all kind of just goes up in flames over the course of like a month.
Yeah,